Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Lucid. We are going to hop back into Lord of the Flies with Lemuria. If you recall in the last couple episodes, we have finally been having some... we've kind of turned around the war with Utgard, and we had a stale, unfortunately, which cost us a bit. But anyway, we're trading forts with him. We're trading armies. He's managing to permanently kill some of my immortals. And Midguard is standing on the sidelines, though... it looks like they are getting ready to attack us. So that's kind of a situation where we are. Tons of horror attacks. A lot of my guys are making... So we're getting Lemur Centurions, and this is causing us to get attacked by horrors. So we lose some of our acolytes, which were our little lab rats, doing some research for us, which is fine. We're getting attacked by disease demons. They kill some of our dudes. Our King of the Mountains actually is getting... One of the things, if Astral Corruption's up, I don't know if I talked about this yet, you can cast through it with this Ring of Returning, which is actually a new item. It used to be there was a unique chest item, which was the only item that had Returning on it, but this is new to Dominions 5. The problem with this, though, as I have figured out, is even... I mean, on a human mage, most of the horrors will kill them in one hit, which will be enough to kill them, so returning is not going to help. Even on strong units like a Grand Lemur, I believe the enemy gets to go through their full attack sequence before returning trigger, so like this whole unit will attack, and then after the attack is done, then if they get hit, they'll return. So basically you can still die pretty regularly, and then you not only die, but you lose your Ring of Returning. If you put a Ring of Returning on a super combatant type chassis, like a King of the Mountains who has 100 hit points, he will not die in one hit. So these actually are pretty ideal chassis for casting through the horror apocalypse in Astral Corruption. So this is a pretty good setup. I put an Arcane Lens on him too, so I can cast... he is, I believe... let's see. Okay, it doesn't say... This may have actually been a random attack. It's not clear that he cast anything. But that's my guy that's been casting. Yeah, he's not casting anything right now. But he's been casting Wizard Tower, and that's been giving me some nice forts, which has allowed me to lay permanent claim to some of this land. So anyway, he's going to continue doing that, not at this exact moment. You can see I have a ton of gems built up. This actually is really common when you have Astral Corruption up because it's really hard to efficiently spend your gems. You can empower, that's one of the things, especially if you have a lot of immortals like Lemuria, so that would be a good thing I could do that I'm not doing. So anyway, there's a ton of the horror attacks. We're just going to click through these really fast, see if there's any big battles. Okay, he kills some patrollers. I don't kill anything. We're just going to click through these really fast and then see if there's anything interesting that we're going to talk about. And then we'll go out to the world map and kind of talk about how it's playing out. So this is one of his thugs, and these thugs typically do... Okay, no, this guy doesn't have any gear, so he's just going to die. We'll watch it, though. This is what happens. I think he was diseased up, and maybe he wanted him to die. But with Curse and all of this, he's definitely going to die. But with a little bit of gear, it's very hard for me to kill him. Yeah, okay. Okay, that was this one, and then coming down. Okay, we've got a big battle here. Let's watch this. So, I've got Li Mei, who's kind of a boss. Some ghost support, a Grand Lemur in the back. And then this guy who can buff himself up in Earth. Back here, he doesn't have too much. He's got this guy to do Firestorm and a vampire here. So let's watch what happens. Okay, Firestorm comes out. Firestorm is not going to kill Li Mei, and it may kill... I think this guy cast Temper Flesh on himself. Yeah, so he's got fire resistance. He'll be fine. And rip Archdevil. Yeah, this guy's super fatigued. Okay. So that's really nice to get a Firestorm caster offline. And I think he was expecting I would move a large army in, but I kind of surprised him there by moving kind of a little small elite squad. So anyway, that is that. And then we managed to kill... Okay, this is kind of interesting. I don't know if this will play out the same way it does in the battle report, but he's got a few liches, and yeah. I think one of these is fire. Yeah, this is a fire. So he's spending a lot of his gems with Astral Corruption up on empowering his immortal liches, which actually is dangerous because I can still convert them with Command Undead. But these guys are really hard to kill. Phoenix Pyre plus Soul Vortex, pretty solid. Because you kill them and then they respawn. And with Soul Vortex, even on Lemurian Ghosts, it's going to suck in. So we're probably going to kill him. Okay, he has Marble Armor, so he's actually going to be really hard to kill. Yeah, we might not actually be able to kill him once. But even if we did with Soul Vortex, he would die in a hot minute. 32... 32, yeah, we're not doing any damage. This guy's just going to kill all of our stuff. So, not great right there. Which one was that? Okay, that was this one. So he basically kind of wiped out that army. Scout, Ice Devil. Here's one of Ryla's big armies. We'll just take a look at it real quick. Is that this one? Yeah. So we were attacking him right here. And this is just, you know, a little raiding squad. But we can see we've got a fair amount of stuff to deal with. We've got a Fairy Queen, which is air nature. And it's set up, it looks like, to cast air things. I don't know if this is going to be Storm or something else. And then probably about 10 mages. And then this guy, not sure what he is set up to cast. Maybe... He's not set up to cast Firestorm. I don't know. Probably just evocations. And then this is a Mage of the Spring. Pretty good. Not a lot of gems on these mages, so I'm not sure. But anyway, it would have no trouble killing all of that chaff. And then clicking through here, let's go ahead and... I think I want to focus this turn... Okay, we've got a super combatant here. I want to focus this turn more on my moves than on the battle, so we'll kind of go through the different moves. So, how many ghosts does it take to kill one of these devils? And the answer is infinite. Now, I think I have... Okay, this guy up here theoretically could apostasy him. It looks like he's attacking, I'm not sure why. Why are you getting in so close, dude? What's this guy's name? Kamul? Yeah, he seems to want to attack. I don't know how he got an attack command. Pretty sure I didn't put it on him. Yeah, he's gonna die up there. But this guy, okay, he's casting Unholy Power. I don't think Unholy Command works on this guy, but this Grand Lemur actually was the key to maybe killing him. He could apostasy him, because this guy has a Sacred Shroud. Normally the devils are not sacred, but... if we look at it... What was that, this one? So many... Okay, this one. Yeah, so he kills my Grand Lemur. Unfortunate. Okay, let's go to this province real quick. I'm not sure which one he probably killed the one that ran in, but we're going to check real quick. Okay, yeah, probably. I don't see the hero or whatever we were looking for. I think I stale again this turn, actually, because I don't see any move orders in here. In that case, actually, we're probably going to go ahead and skip to the next turn pretty quick, just to show you what happened. I think this is my last stale. This is unfortunate. So if you recall, we had won a battle where he came out to kind of kill my army, where I just had these guys out front, and now we're trying to break into this fort. Unfortunately, he has a pretty big mage corps. And she has right away been frozen solid with Paralyzed. She's already at Paralyzed 5. So she's probably not going to come out of that with all the Mind Blasters. And he's got Father Ill-Earth, who is a super combatant in his own right. Probably not as good as the Queen of the Lakes, who is pretty amazing with 50% regen. I forget what this does. Gaze of Death. 10 armor negating damage. Yeah. Has he converted him? No, okay. Kind of speed forward through this. So they kill one of my guys. This lady is not going to die though, but she is going to get paralyzed real nice and good. Not a lot of afflictions yet, surprisingly. And she's just killing skeletons that are getting summoned. Okay, and then she finally gets captured with Enslaved Mind. So that sucks. I lost all the gear on her, which wasn't that much, but I lost her, and she's really, really good. So that is quite unfortunate. That's down here. So anyway, you can see the -1, they get a Soulless, and they get the Queen of the Lakes down here. Fortunately, they did not convert my console, so that is a silver lining there. We have a battle inside this fortress, and you can see we take it. And then we kill off some of this. So we'll kind of zoom out and look at the map. So as... maybe it's better to just start off like this. It's so hard. I'm still trying to figure out the recipe for doing this in-game stuff, because my turns take 3 hours, so I can't really show you doing my turns. And then just watching all the battles, I'm not sure. I'm kind of thinking maybe I show you like every few turns rather than every single turn. But anyway, not sure. Let me know what you think would be good formats for doing this in-game stuff. Because I've noticed a lot of other YouTubers that I really like Psy, Nuclear Monkey, who have great stuff. A lot of times they don't do the in-game. If it starts going really late, they'll stop kind of recording. And I think a lot of that's just because the game gets so hard, like, time... It starts using so much time, and then recording... in the endgame gets kind of grindy. And it's grindy in a fun way. I love endgame in Dominions, but it's kind of weird to upload it. Anyway. Endgame almost always comes down to some kind of economic battle. Or a throne rush. Which, throne rushes are kind of more fun. So, we've managed to get rid of a lot of the Utgardian patrollers. Raiders who were kind of on top of our forts. We have our throne back, which is nice. We need to go ahead and claim it. I'm actually really glad to get this back. I really don't want his Gamherdings to have dark vision. It allows darkness to still be pretty effective. But that's basically what's going on up there. Here, we were unsuccessful. I really wanted to take this fort. If I took this fort, it would give me just clear claim to all this land. And I was not able to take it. This is that battle where I lost my Queen of Water Elementals. Yeah, he's got a few dudes on top of this fort. I think my progress is kind of slowed down, and part of that was from the stale I had. You see, I lost a lot of provinces that turn, but even this turn, I'm kind of losing ground a little bit. But I'm not much worse off. This is kind of where Utgard evolved and kind of shamed me a little bit, right? And then I've kind of gained some ground back. But I'm kind of losing it again. So we're kind of a little cyclical, but the difference is this is that same period. Now we're looking at forts, where Utgard evolved and was taking some of my forts. And he's not continuing to take forts. If anything, I'm up a little bit from there. So, not that bad, but I don't really have Utgard's number yet. But let's go ahead and pull up the next turn, where I think I staled, but I'm not totally sure. So that was Lord of the Flies turn 89. We're going to go ahead and pull up turn 90. Yeah, so I did stale. And this is my last stale. I think I don't stale again this game. Okay, more death returned, so that's good. That was one of my immortals who... how was she scripted anyway? Spells, huh? Oh, this is the one that got assassinated up here by one of these dudes in that fort. So the way, if you get Claw of Kokietos, or however you say it, I think they spell it with a K in the other one. But anyway, they stay in this other realm where they can get attacked by demons, like frost demons, I think is what this one is, or it could be if you're sent to the infernal plane, you get attacked by like the fire demons. If you die in there, it doesn't matter if you're immortal, you're dead. Fortunately, she didn't get attacked in there. She just kind of came eventually back to this plane. So that's good. We get attacked by Utgard some. Let's just see if there's any big battles. He attacks me with a vampire, kills me. He attacks me with a nice little squad here. Actually, this is a pretty good battle. Let's watch this. So he's going to win this one. But let's see what he's doing. He's got Bone Fiends, which these are blood summons. It's kind of like a blood way to get into little undead chaff. He's got a strong communion with a Crystal Mage. And Crystal Mages are great communion leaders. They can get... Iron Skin and Earth Power on all of their communion slaves. So they're very good in a communion. And then he's got this Fairy Queen who is a communion master with the Crystal Matrix. And then some air and some nature gems. So I'm not sure what he's going to cast. Could be Fog Warriors. That's kind of my guess. Let's see. Meanwhile, over here, I've got just a little bit of mage support, and these guys are probably going to just drop the standard Rigor Mortis, maybe Darkness if I'm really up to it. Okay, we've got Anti-Magic coming out. Wither Bones. Okay, honestly, one vampire behind this much chaff spamming out Wither Bones is going to put a big hurting on me. So let's speed down. So I have Rigor Mortis and Wailing Winds. But Wailing Winds is not going to be very effective against an undead army. Backed up by a Communion or anybody casting Wither Bones. Okay, I did put Darkness down. But Darkness here is not really going to help me because he's got an undead front line. Normally it's going to hurt your defense stats. But here you can see it does not affect him. Rigor Mortis, also not super effective. You can see some of my guys are running. So this is a pretty efficient little defense here. I spent a fair amount of gems on my battlefield spells. None of them are really helpful. Wailing Winds, Rigor Mortis, or Darkness. Rigor Mortis is okay against Communions, but not great. So yeah, looks like we're going to lose this one pretty handily. And then these guys die too. So I think that was this battle. So I killed a fair amount of his chaff. Now his chaff is more harder to replace than mine is, but this is a pretty solid win for him. I mean, a pretty low cost, loses a little bit of chaff, sends a few of my Grand Lemurs back with whatever gems they had on them. Not a bad trade at all for him. Ice Devil comes in here. I wonder if I was on retreat here. I wonder what's happening. Yeah, I think I had everybody get the hell out of here. Okay, here. Okay, these are things from having Illwinter up, which is something. Utgard is basically one of the Niflheim nations, and all those have access to Illwinter. So we're getting attacked by random events here. We had a gold event. This is really nice. We got a Storm Spool as well. Now, I've got my turns in here, so let's talk about kind of what my strategy is going to be. He's got me under siege here with one Vampire Lord. So one of the things I want to do is I want to break out, and I think... Okay, no, I don't really have these guys scripted. What I need to do, especially if there's a Vampire Lord, is I need to put these guys on advance and cast spells. And they'll break out. So we're moving in a big army here. And I've got... Where's my... Okay. So we're doing two things. We're going to be doing a big attack here and a big attack here. Now the guys I have coming in here, basically it's going to just be a chaff army protected by Army of Lead. And one of these Gamherdings that we managed to convert. And hopefully that will put this under siege. Here we've got a much more kind of advanced army. We've got Darkness, Power Spheres, Wailing Winds, Rigor Mortis. This guy's also doing Rigor Mortis. We're doing Rigor Mortis twice in case something happens to this guy. It's a pretty important spell for us. It won't cast the second time. Something else will get cast down here. I am not on advance in spells. This guy's on advance in spells. Okay, two of them are. That's probably okay. We're just going to throw that under siege. And my strategy here is I want to get... I don't know right now if I'm going to win a straight-up fight with a big army. One of the things I could do is try to just move like my Troll Kings along with my main army and try to win big fights and just have a Doom stack he can't stop. I'm not really going with that. It might be the better strategy here. You can see my scripting super freaking lazy. What am I doing? But I should probably be doing something like this. But anyway, but I'm kind of just trying to overwhelm him. The thing I do need, and this is the thing that I now have. You can see I've got one of these Standards of the Damned here. So this big army's moving here. This Standard of the Damned is going to be super key for killing his super combatants. So attack to move him closer forward into position and then drain life, and then advance and cast spells. I do prefer to have this on a Centurion. I don't have one here. Centurions are going to be harder to kill than the Shadow Tribune. And they also don't have any other spells to cast, so when they go off script, you are guaranteed to get drain life every turn, which is what you want. In fact, Centurions with Standard of the Damned are pretty damn solid. I mean, where did we cast them again? Oh, I had a still turn, so we can't see it this turn. I know I have them somewhere. Okay. I mean, just going over their stats. 25 hit points. This can go up to, I think, 50 with Standard of the Damned spamming out Drain Life. Pretty high protection, solid defense, quite high magic resistance, chill, ethereal. I mean, these guys are great little thug chassis. Now, these are expensive. It's 25 death gems. But if you think about it, so the investment here, this guy's only like 3 death gems, and this is 25. Your investment is almost entirely in the standard. And it's not really worth putting a standard on something like a console. They can do something more useful. But, yeah, they're going to be very hard to kill. They'll kill most assassins. I don't know if they'll be able to kill the Claw of Ketos dude. Probably not. But most other assassins they can kill. There's a good chance they're going to survive in combat even if we lose. They'll probably be able to escape. This is two-handed, so you can't give them a shield, which would be nice. Boots of Flying would be nice, so they're even less likely to die in combat, and you could zip them around. I could be doing that. I think I have an Air Mage here who might be able to manage Flying Boots. We'd have to figure out a way to give him a booster, but... anyway, pretty efficient little anti-thug dude. So this little squad's going to be moving in here, and if we find a thug, so what, we're going to kill him, because we've got this Standard of the Damned dude. My scripting is super lazy. It's kind of weird coming back and looking at it, and I'm not even, like, doing anything with my unit formations. But I've already played this turn, so I'm not going to go through and fix all that. But we're going to... Basically, the strategy here is I just want to overwhelm him with attacking more forts than he can defend. And even if I lose some, it's going to be okay, because I'll just overwhelm him. The problem with this, though, of course, is that I'm not really guaranteed to win any of my fights, so could kind of be a problem. I do have a lab here. Now, this guy, I should probably be having him cast Mass Protection, especially since I'm not really worried about Firestorm coming down. So that's kind of a mistake. This guy should definitely have some Nature Gems, and he should be doing Mass Protection. Instead, he's just set up to do Creeping Doom, which is not really very good in this particular case. So that's a mistake. Coming down here, we need to attack... Where are you guys going? Okay, we're moving up this way. Well, this is another big thing, is Midguard is getting a much larger... This is a lot of Storm Demons. A lot. And Storm Demons, I haven't really gone into why they're so scary. They're one of the best late game units, especially once you get Blood 9. You can start summoning them pretty efficiently. For 50 Blood Slaves, you get 7+ Storm Demons. So that's like, it's about 7 per Storm Demon, or probably a little more efficient if you have very high blood on your caster. But what this is going to allow you to do is you could probably get up to like 20-something Storm Demons a turn pretty easily. Potentially upwards of like 30 if you have a pretty healthy blood economy, which Midgard probably does. Midgard's a big nation. And what makes these Storm Demons so scary is they have lightning resistance built in. So when you cast Army of Gold or Lead, which are the best in-game spells, they make you weak to lightning. But these guys, when you cast it on them, I think they have 15 shock resistance. So they're still going to have 10 shock resistance left over. And I think you can buff that again with Ground Army to get them back up to 15. And then you have basically ethereal troops, because these guys are ethereal, that have 20 protection, 15 shock resistance. And then when you cast Storm, it's going to make their attack do more damage since they have Storm power. So they get, I think, +3 attack in Storm and damage. And then when you cast Rush of Strength, which you're going to have if you go up Blood, or just Bloodlust, it's going to give them 4 Strength. And that is going to go on their melee attacks and on their ranged attacks. So in a Storm, they do +8 or 7 damage, something like that. And it's armor negating damage. So they're one of the best units in the end game by a lot, because they have 20 protection, they do armor negating damage. It's very hard to buff shock resistance up very high if you didn't put it in your Bless or something. Yeah, they can fly even in storms. They're so awesome. I really want to do a playthrough where I play a nation with Storm Demons because they're just so powerful in the late game. Another thing you can do is, I think the Shed, or the Shedier, I can't remember which one. One of the Hinnom or Baratos nations, they can summon them if you have the right paths, and you can only summon them in a wasteland, but they're basically better versions of Storm Demons. So very cool. But yeah, these guys could just kill essentially an infinite number of ghosts. So that scares me. The only thing that I have a few things going for me here. One is that I have a ton of troops in here. I probably have around probably about 300 siege defense. Some of these guys, like these guys, have... Yeah, I probably have... I forget which one. Some of these are better at... Yeah. All my mindless troops are not going to be very good at siege defense, even though they're good at sieging. I wish they put a thing up here to show siege defense. But anyway, I probably have about 300. So it's going to take a lot of troops for him to knock this down. So that's one thing I have going for me. Yeah. But this is scary. I'm not sure if he's ready to make the move yet. And I'm kind of trying to figure out what he's going to do. I think he's going to try... Because if you remember, I mean, he's big. I think he's going to try to go for a throne victory. He's got a lot of dudes here. He can go for this throne. He's got dudes here. He can go for this throne. He has troops, I think, like right here, which could go for this throne. And if he wanted to, he could make a... Maybe he has this throne, I'm not sure. But he's pretty close to a throne victory. And I know this player likes kind of going for them. I think that's his plan, is to kind of get a critical mass and then to go for it while Utgard and I are busy fighting each other. And it's totally possible that he could do it, because these guys are so freaking strong. Storm Demons are so scary. They really are. Okay, so anyway, yeah, that's basically it. We're moving this in, which is a chaff army with armies of gold. We've got some Grand Lemurs coming in to support here. We're just going to try to kind of knock these guys off and try to catch any of these raiders he's got here. He has broken this fort, so there's a chance he takes this back. Actually, no, he's probably going to take this back. Yeah. I didn't realize how many dudes are on top. Yeah, he's definitely going to take this back. So I'm going to lose this fort. We're going to just kind of attack him, see what happens. I should sneak this guy out. There's a lot of things I'm not doing optimally here. I think, because I just staled twice. I think I'm trying to remember. I had a lot of personal stuff going on. Like, I think I went on like a week-long camping trip, and I had like paused the game and other things. I think there was a ton of personal stuff going on at this time. I think I staled here because of that. I staled in another game, which I actually haven't started uploading yet. But I'll go ahead and do a quick ad for it. I'm going to be putting up a Scaleria game. And the game is actually finished. But I didn't put it up because my channel's been so full with other videos I've been putting up. I've kind of been waiting for one of these other series to end. But these, like my Ulm and Lemuria game went so far into the late game, it's really put a damper on when I can get my next series started to upload, or start to upload my next series. So I'm going to be playing with Scaleria. I have a suboptimal build there, where I end up playing a lot better with Scaleria at other times, and I might put one of those games up. So actually, if you put in the comments whether you would like... I don't really like playing the same nation twice in a Let's Play. But I've got a suboptimal build that I'm definitely putting up because I've already recorded a lot of it. But I've been thinking about, because I've got another game with Scaleria I'm in. Should I put that one up too? Anyway, let me know. But yeah, it's also an Undead Cancer Nation because they're my favorite. And it's actually not that. I like nations that get around the upkeep break, which is why Blood Nations I kind of tend to like, and Undead Nations I tend to like, because you end up... I think this is a game that does... While elite troops are really good, it's very nice to have expendable chaff, so I tend to like nations that have expendable chaff. Okay, so I think that's mostly it. I am going to be putting troops here. I want to keep a lot of troops on my border with Midguard. That's kind of the other major thing, is keeping troops. I don't want to look weak to Midguard. So on one hand, I want to commit a lot of troops to attack and finish Utgard, but I do not want to weaken this border. I want all these forts to have enough dudes in it where it looks kind of scary for him to attack me. The other thing, yeah, basically it's just a bunch of raiding. Sending in a big army here with kind of the standard spells. I think one thing I'm starting to do more is Power of the Spheres. I'm casting that a lot and then just allowing them to go off script. Like, once I have Power of the Spheres, this guy can do, Enslave Mind and stuff like that. One thing I'm not doing that I should be doing, especially if I get like 3 or 4 Grand Lemurs in the same army, is starting to drop Light of the Northern Star. It's really good. It allows Enslave Mind and other sorts of astral spells to be cast cheaper. And then anybody with Power of the Spheres and Light of the Northern Star, even my Astral 2 guys, can do Enslave Mind, which is really good against their... all of Utgard's kind of super combatant-y thugs. So anyway, that's it for this episode. We basically got the same thing we've been having, which is a lot of medium-sized armies moving around the map. And I hope to see you next turn. All right, see you guys.